Pretty warm day out there, isn't it? Temperatures this afternoon really climbed up into the 80s. Boy, do we have some changes headed your way, though. Cold front's already moving through parts of Benton County. It'll be clear of the area before you know it, probably by about 8 or 9. Now, there is a severe thunderstorm watch that goes until 11 o'clock tonight. I think most of the storms are going to be long gone by then if they develop at all. Let me show you what's going on out there. That's a live look towards 14th Street in Bentonville. You can see some of the low clouds and some showers that have moved across Benton County this evening. Time now about 5:45 on April 18th. Watching those showers and storms try to develop along the front. The front's moving so quickly, though, the updrafts are really struggling to get going and to maintain themselves. Haven't had any severe reports locally. St. Louis, they've had a tornado report. That's where a lot of the more active weather is. Let's see if we can show you what's going on out there. First, the radar. The radar shows showers and thunderstorms trying to develop in the area. You can see out around Bentonville, we were looking at some of those showers that just moved through. If I put this in motion, you can see some pulses here and there, right? You got a little flare up of red here and there, and then they kind of fall apart and weaken. Flip side of this front, it's cooler. Northeast Oklahoma is in the mid 50s. It's a whole heck of a lot cooler, and that's moving through right now. Behind this front, nothing. So we're not going to have any risk of storms in Bella Vista. Heck, even Bentonville is in the clear now on the west side of town. No more storms even developing in Highfield. We did have a shower that moved through. The Siloam Springs, we're in the clear from that front. We'll have falling temperatures too. Looks like a little bit's trying to develop there north of Pea Ridge. Not that much though. Looking back to the south, by the way, you can see that front, can't you? You can see the line that's moving through. There's not been much at all that's developed between Salisaw and Fort Smith. You can see some pulses here and there of storms trying to get going. They really haven't done much. Then back to the south, it's about the same thing. Now, with peak daytime heating happening now, it's still possible as this front charges through that we could get an isolated thunderstorm that is severe. And until the front moves across the area, it is going to be a possibility. And you can also see that on the satellite. Boy, this thing really, really shows up well, doesn't it? That's the front that's moving through. Currently across Benton County and then approaching Fort Smith. Looks like some of these cells down here are a little bit better developed. The cool thing about visible satellite, as the sun sets, you can see the dark spot shadows as the sun starts to go down. That's a higher level anvil that's up there, so that gives us an indication too that it's a stronger thunderstorm. And it looks like that's a little more convective and bubbly there, doesn't it? Just looking at the satellite data, we don't have any of that in Northwest Arkansas as far as big anvil blow off like that. Although it looks like west of Fort Smith around Stigler, there may be some more cumulus right in here trying to get going. So that may be something to watch. There's also some sunshine out ahead of it. This won't be the end all be all of severe thunderstorm events, though. It doesn't really have that push and that umph to it. I mentioned temperatures earlier. Have you seen this, guys? This is the severe thunderstorm watch. That's the red color here. If I zoom out, though, I mentioned St. Louis. They're having all kinds of, geez, those are tornado warnings, it looks like, for the St. Louis metro right now. Here at home, not so much. By the way, this is all a watch. So severe thunderstorm watches from Illinois through Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and then back down into Texas. But what I wanted to point out were temperatures. It's 77 in Rogers, 78 degrees in Bentonville. Just to head across the border, though, out around Claremore, it's 57 degrees. It's 59 south of Veneta. I mean, that's a big temperature drop going from nearly 80 in Fayetteville to 57 degrees back to the west. When you wake up tomorrow morning, it is going to be a whole heck of a lot cooler. Temperatures should be in the 40s. Those thunderstorms down around southeast Oklahoma we saw on the satellite have about 3/10 of an inch hail, so about pea size. And that one that we were watching around Stigler is also showing up on here, although it doesn't show that much in the way of hail that's out there. So, the rest of the evening is going to play out like this. We have those thunderstorms which are out, they're trying to develop. And then as we go through the evening hours, I'm going to take you over towards 7 o'clock. These things should move if they develop. Now, there's a chance they won't between 6 and 7 in Fort Smith. So about the next hour or so, and then the front moves out, and it's history. It's going into central Arkansas. These could be some nastier storms out towards the east, but for northwestern Arkansas, from Fort Smith up through Springdale, Rogers, Bella Vista, this stuff should move out here in about the next 2 hours or so. That's why I think that watch that goes all the way till 11 o'clock might be a little bit long for us. Certainly southwest Arkansas may be a little bit longer, not a whole lot longer though. Up to the radar real quick to get one last look at this, and you can see the showers that are trying to develop. Another one trying to pulse up here near Springdale. Will it hold together? Probably not. Just if history's any indication, we haven't had that much that have really been holding on through the evening. Thought maybe I'd take a look real quick and see if I could show you a camera there. It looks pretty impressive out there out towards the 612 interchange. Take it full. That'll show the big one. There you go. There's some of the low hanging clouds. Those are shelf clouds. Those are not wall clouds or anything. But that's the base of the updraft where this thing's trying to form and hasn't been all that much. Although you got at least a pretty sight in that southbound traffic, which is just slowly crawling along. But the showers and storms that are out there have been pulsing. None of them have been sustained, and we haven't had a whole lot in the way of large hail with any of this stuff. This one's located here just south of Town, south of 412, that's moving into Town, as well as Johnson. I think you're going to get a quick shower out of it. I just don't think you're going to get a whole lot in the way of heavy rainfall as it starts to move in from west to east, and the moves across the area quick. Like I said, this thing's going to be over with before you know it, as it cruises on through. Looking out there towards Don Tyson, this is in that area where those showers are developing. So the storms would be just behind the camera, actually, because you got the Blue Cross Blue Shield building there on the left. Armest Ballpark would be there to the left, and these storms are just to the west of the ballpark with very heavy traffic going through the 5 o'clock hour as these storms try to develop and pop up across the area. We'll see if they hang on. Doesn't look like it's going to be much, though. Rogers, we're nearly in the clear once this front moves through. You guys are going to notice those winds kicking around to the northwest, and they're going to be breezy. And keep an eye on these little guys down here. That one around McCurtain and Stigler. That's one that's popped up here last couple frames. Right there, see it? So if these actually grow into stronger cells, they'll have that potential to be severe. But so far, so good. They've just been pulsing up and down, and we haven't seen a whole lot of sustained updrafts. And the front's a fast mover too. So by the time 8 o'clock rolls around, I think it's going to be out of Oz and moving into central Arkansas and giving us cool temperatures like 40s for lows tomorrow morning, almost jacket weather. And then by the afternoon, high temperatures are going to be in the 60s. Today we were in the 80s almost in some areas. So keep an eye on the storms. Tornado threat remains low. Hail and wind threat probably the biggest with this, and then everything moves out of the area later on this evening. Gonna keep an eye on it. Let you know if anything pops up.